Hello, in today's video I'm going to be showing you some new art materials which I've got. So these are various art materials and books which I've accumulated over the last couple of months. So some of these are repeat purchases because I'm running low on supplies, including these 30cm by 30cm MDF boards. And I use these for painting acrylics on. And then I mount them like this on MDF backboards, which are then just framed. Then this is something from one of my favourite artists, Janine Burrows. And it's a 2026 calendar. So the calendar's called The Calm of a Home, and it's all kind of home settings. And I just absolutely love her style. Oh, that's so nice. There's often a sea element in Janine's work. I was just going to say that looks like Barbara Hepworth's reading room, and it is. St Michael's Mount. Yeah, I'm going to absolutely love having that up next year. I've actually got quite a few things this video from some of my favourite artists. So the next one is this book from David Mankin, and I really like his abstract work. And this is his book of work from his Interludes exhibition. I just really enjoy his mark making and the colours he uses as well. A lot of his work is really big, so this one is 122 by 122 centimetres in real life. Yeah, this just makes me really excited for this kind of work when I see it. Both to have a go at it myself, but also just to enjoy this in its own right. Yeah, so I really love that as well. Then I've got another book from an artist. I'm not sure which is which because I've got two. Oh, okay, I'm so excited for this. So this is Hannah Woodman, and she is one of my absolute favourite artists who I follow on Instagram. And this is her second book of her sketchbooks. So nicely packaged as well. A couple of bookmarks, they're lovely. So it's signed. I just love being able to look at her work up close and really have the time to kind of see what's going on. Lots of use of granulating watercolours by the looks of it. Yeah, again, I just absolutely love her mark making and her use of different mediums. Yeah, absolutely beautiful book. Then I've got a box of different art materials here, which I can't actually remember what they all are. Let's take a look. I ordered this actually ages ago. So this is a magnetic portable brush holder. This is one that I've currently got in my art travel kit, and this is the Princeton Neptune one. My kids bought me this for my birthday a couple of years ago, and I've got a couple of other travel brushes now, and I'd quite like to keep them together in something like this as well, because this one works really well. So this was, I think, Jackson's own brand one. So I've got these two Escoda travel brushes. This is a number 10 Ultimo. And then this is a Perla, number 8 Perla. And then, yeah, so I bought another travel brush. And I think this is a Pro Art Midas Touch, but I really wanted to get a flat brush. And this wasn't particularly expensive. So I thought it'd be interesting to try this one out. Just grab a paint palette. Oh, I like that brush. It's got a nice crisp edge to it. It won't hold as much water as like the synthetic squirrels, but it's nice for a bit of detail and stuff, like sharp line detail. Sorry, just playing around. But yeah, that seems a very pleasant brush. It's quite heavy. It's quite heavy to the back, so I'll have to get used to the feel of it. And then this was also from Jackson's. This was some solvent-free gel, and this is by Gamblin. And this is a medium that I was wanting to use alongside my water-soluble oil paints. Then I wanted to try another large flat brush. Unfortunately, with brushes, I seem to buy lots which I want to experiment with, but then they don't suit me very well. So I'd bought these two brushes. There was the Da Vinci chunking brush and this Angelo one, and they're okay, but I don't love them. And I just thought I'd try out a Jackson's own one. Yeah, I won't really know till I've had a good play with it. These are for use with acrylic paint. And then I also put an order in with Bromley's Art Supplies, which is this little parcel, and they'd sent me their brochure, which is a real treasure trove because it's got like full colour ranges of lots of big brands. So this is really nice to have on hand. But what I bought from Bromley's were some of Derwent's new drawing pencils, and I'm quite shocked at myself for not going out and buying the whole of the new set. They've recently come out with a new set of 72, but I picked out 20 of the new colours, which I thought I'd use the most. And I seem to have gravitated mainly to the more muted ones. So quite a few of these kind of warm grey colours. I was happy to see the lilacs in the set, so I think I've got 3. Oh, that's more of a lilac there. What colour is that? Slate violet. So I think I've got these 4 purpley colours, 1 blue, the ash blue, and then a few pinky peachy ones, though I didn't go for the really bright ones. So I've got Beast, Light Rust and Dusky Pink. And then 1 orangey reddy, that's Autumn Leaf. Then I've got 3 greeny ones, Green Earth, Fresh Green, Distant Green. Oh no, I was going to say, I thought I got a darker one. And then this is one of my favourite Derwent Lightfast colours, and that's Forest. It's a really good deep green. Oh no, there's another blue. Deep Atlantic. That's the gold. Actually, there's another blue, a very pale blue, Arctic, another Lightfast colour. And then I've got these 4 greys. Possibly over time I might pick out 1 or 2 more open stock Derwent drawing pencils. But I haven't been doing loads of pencil work lately, so I thought this was a more sensible way of approaching it. Just have a quick scribble of a couple of them. Oh, I'm so pleased about these lilacs. I seem to have been using purple more and more in my art. And then a much cooler one. It's teal blue. Violet Dusk. And then Grape. Oh, that's so nice. So I think the brightest one I got is this Fresh Green. I was a bit worried it might be too, well, not olivey enough, but it has got that slightly browny olivey edge to it, so I'm really happy about that. Let's just see what this gold is like. Yeah, nice ochre-y colour. I'll do a separate video on these anyway and get out my other Derwent drawing pencils and see how well the ones I've picked out fill in the gaps in my current collection. Actually, while I've got the pencils out, I've also seen a while back this Duralar paper being used with coloured pencils, and this is like, I think this is like really thick, kind of like greaseproof paper, tracing paper, and it's absolutely smooth, really, really smooth. But I'd seen people using it with coloured pencils and I was just really intrigued by how they lay down on it. So actually I'll just get these back out. This can be my test sheet. Wow. Not sure how I feel about that. I don't know how much I like it actually. I think it's just so different from colouring on paper with a tooth. It's so smooth. So you can layer on top of it, even though there's no tooth. I just wanted to lay down some really dark, so you can get such a smooth look from it. I mean, compared to, say, I mean, this is cold pressed watercolour paper, so it is very textured. But obviously with this you don't have any of the white of the paper showing through. So this is a slice tool, like a kind of scraper. I'm just curious how that works with it. I'm not sure if that's just the pencil that's coming off or actually the surface of the paper. But you can get incredible details. I imagine if you're an animal artist, the kind of fur details you can get with this, or feather, would be absolutely amazing. Quite smudgy. I need to watch out for that. Let me show you that up close. So that's quite interesting. I think I'm going to have to do some bird drawings on this in the near future. I think that'll be really fun. Yeah, so that's the Dura-Lar archival polyester film. Now this next thing, I'm not sure how long it's been out for, but I've only just come across it, and I'm afraid this really was an impulse buy. This is the Pretty Pink palette from Schmincke, and it says it's a limited edition. Oh my word, what a great colour. And it's got this Da Vinci brush. Wow, that is enormous. The swatching leaflet. What does it say about the brush? Doesn't really say anything about it on the packaging. But look at that brush. It's a size 2, but I don't know out of what. The only other quill brush I've really got is this Princeton Neptune. So that's a size 6. So yeah, that kind of makes sense, I guess. It looks like quill brushes have their own like size system that's not on the same track as normal round brushes. So the watercolours in here, what have we got? Chromium Yellow, Hue Lemon, Pure Yellow, Quinacridone Red Light, Ruby Red, Ultramarine Finest, Helio Cerulean, Prussian Green. Oh, I really like Schmincke's Prussian Green. Phthalo Green, Yellow Raw Ochre, Transparent Brown, Green Umber, Neutral Grey, and then you've got some pinks. Brilliant Opera Rose, Purple Magenta, and Quinacridone Violet. So let's try out Schmincke's Brilliant Opera Rose. Quite a few of those paints I've not tried before, so I was quite curious about them. And I got these on sale at, I think, from Arte, so I didn't pay full price for these. It's a very enjoyable brush to use. So that's absolutely great fun. Then a product that I'm extremely excited to try out. This is a brand new product and they were already sold out in quite a lot of places. But I got these from a website I'd not heard of before called Paper Story. So Sennelier have brought out some pastel pencils and they've got 48 colours in the range, and they do them in a full pencil size and then a half pencil size. And they also do them in some different set sizes as well. But I know what I'm like switching from medium to medium, and that I probably wouldn't get through full size sticks. So I picked up the full collection of half pencils. So they've got a magnetic closure for the lid. Oh, look at them. And then the two trays. They've put together a landscape set as well, which I was very tempted by first of all, but then there were a couple of other colours that I really wanted as well. So I'll get out some Pastel Matte. Pastel Matte and Canson Mi-Ton Velvet are my favourite for pastels, so this is most likely what I'll be using them on. There's no wooden barrel, this is all kind of pure pastel. So let's... So these are definitely harder than Sennelier soft pastels, which makes sense because they need to hold together in pencil form, I guess. You've got a lot of control, obviously. But you can probably hear kind of how hard they are. This is such a good colour range. I always want lots of darks and lights when I buy a set, and that's often what's missing. But here you've got some great lights, really light pink, a couple of good light blues, those pales there, some more good pale colours here, and then you've got quite decent dark blues. What colour's that? Is that just two different blacks? It looked like a purpley black. Yeah, that one's slightly more purpley. And hooray, a really good dark green, which is always what I'm after. I wouldn't have minded a few more olivey greens. That's a little bright for my liking. That's a nice shadow purple. Yeah, so that's the nice dark green. Some good dark browns there. So this is Caran d'Ache pastel pencil, just by way of comparison. Yeah, the Sennelier feels a good bit harder than the Caran d'Ache and produces hardly any dust compared to the Caran d'Ache. So the Senneliers, I think, are going to be better for detail work. Let's just see how they lay down. So I'd rubbed this pastel pencil in, I'd blended that in quite well, so the tooth's not kind of all filled in. And the Sennelier sticks pretty well on top of it. I get a darker colour. It's struggling a bit where I haven't blended in the pastel pencil because there's less tooth. So yeah, that's a beautiful little set. Just show you the box again. So that's the Sennelier 48 half pastel pencils set. And then I had another Jackson's order, and this was largely replacement products. So while Jackson's had their paper sale on a while back, I'd stocked up on Canson XL watercolour paper pads. I'm down to my last 2 pages on my current pad. So I bought 3 of those. And then I got some more Khadi paper, but I wanted it in square format. I wanted to experiment with doing a floating mount with it inside a frame. So it would mean all of the edges stay visible, and I'd have kind of some foam mount underneath and then frame it in a square frame. And then Jackson's also had a sale on their lino printing materials. And this is a large tube of the Schmincke Lino Druck ink, which I use for my lino prints, because this is my current one, which I've nearly run out of. So yeah, that will definitely, I didn't realise the tube was that big that I'd bought. That will definitely keep me going for a while. And then this is one of my favourite golden acrylic paint, the light phthalo green. And I use this in almost all of my acrylic paintings. And this is my current one of those, which is, yeah, not going to last much longer. It's just the most wonderful colour though. I like using it in seas and skies. Then the last 2 things, one of them is this roll of Bao Hong watercolour paper. And I really like how they've sent me like gloves to handle it, because that's one of my bad things that I do. I always love the touch of paper, and so I touch it and then transfer the oils out of my hands onto the paper. So very sensible. And I ordered this roll, I think it's 10 meters long, from overseas, and I ordered it a couple of months ago now, but that arrived in the last week. I really do like Bao Hong watercolour paper. I've got a few pads of it, but this was about, I can't remember exactly how much, maybe £23, so that worked out much better value than the pads. And then the very last thing I've got is one more book. So this is from a Cornish artist who I only discovered really recently on Instagram, Sophie Velzian. And as soon as I saw her work, I absolutely fell in love with it. This is a really big book. Is that 30 centimetres by 30 centimetres? But this is her sketchbooks, and I absolutely love how she does her sketchbooks. So she includes a photo of her location and the notes, and then on the other page you've got the painting. And I think she does all of these on location. I'm not 100% sure about that. So I think this is absolutely amazing to be able to see the photo and then her interpretation right next to each other. And again, I love her mark making and her use of different mediums. Yeah, this is a fantastic book. Plus a lot of these are done in Cornwall, so that's extra special to me. So yeah, what a wonderful book. So as ever, I really hope you enjoyed seeing these new to me mediums and books. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on them. Thanks ever so much. Bye!